Hello to all the geek enthusiasts and nerd aficionados. Mess 5150 here with episode 24 of MaliceCast. Welcome back to the show. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about some what we've been getting our geek on about, some nerd news, DC movie related and television show related. And then we're going to go into the nerd fight, talk about the results for the Studio Ghibli poll, and talk about our new Game of Thrones inspired nerd fight for favorite character from Game of Thrones. And that's going to lead right into our main topic today. We're going to go Game of Thrones fan theories, Mythbuster style. So we're going to get some theories out there that are trending heavily in the internets this currently, and talk about if we think they're plausible or completely busted. So before we get to all that, let's talk about who's on the cast today. So you got me, Mess 5150. We got my right-hand man on the other side, Mr. Beacon.
What up?
Pow, pow, pow.
Pow, pow.
We've also got Mrs. Super Hoovy and Freaka. She's getting all comfy there.
Yeah, always got to be comfy. Got to stretch. Got to chill.
This is what's called yoga podcasting. And then we also have Icy Zorro joining us for today's chat.
What's going on? If this is yoga podcasting, I suppose I'm in nerd form or nerd pose.
Nerd pose.
Oh.
Downward nerd.
I think this is nerd pose.
Yeah, that's true. Or, I mean, one hand on the mouse, the other one on AWSD.
Yeah. I was very afraid where the hand was going. And lastly, our producer is come out to the forefront so we can see him because we want to know his thoughts about Game of Thrones theories. Jack Malice has joined us.
Hello, everybody.
So much excitement. But yeah, so we're going to talk about getting your geek on, current nerd news, the nerd fight ending and the nerd fight beginning, and then Game of Thrones fan theories and whether they're busted or plausible. So let's get into getting your geek on. What has everybody been getting their geek on about? Zorro, what have you been doing lately?
I have been watching Blind Spot. I watched the first 3 episodes when it first started, and I thought it was an intriguing show. My former partner, my ex-wife, not so much, so I never really actually got to watch it. So I've just been catching up on that lately. I've also been reading the second book of the Lycanius trilogy, which I believe is called Echoes of Things to Come.
Nice.
Pretty standard swords and sorcery, epic fantasy stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, that follows well with what we're going into today. So
is Blind Side different than The Blind Side?
No, Blind Spot.
Blind Spot.
Blind Spot. See.
She can't remember who she is, right?
Yeah. Covered in fresh tattoos that keep leading to government corruption stuff.
The girl from Thor that played
Lady Sif.
Yes.
Jaime Alexander.
I can get down with that. Is that like a Netflix thing or a Hulu or?
No, I believe it's straight up network.
Yeah, NBC.
NBC. Okay, cool.
The first season and watched about 2 episodes of the second, and then just haven't gotten back to it. So
I need a new show to binge. So there you go.
And I want to welcome Stonehenge into the chat, and Marley Bob. And Stonehenge might be somebody in disguise that we usually have here, but we're not saying. And go ahead and, as you guys sit in the chat room, go ahead and let us know what current things you've been geeking out on as well. Stuperuvian, what have you been geeking out on lately?
Rewatch The Defenders.
Again.
So that was, getting
all your notes down?
Get ready. Getting all my notes down. So that's what I spent my week doing.
Did it go down smooth the second time? Because...
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, obviously, is it perfect? No, of course not. But was it entertaining and did I enjoy it? Yes, I did.
So what they're talking about is they're going to end up having a Defenders cast coming up fairly soon, and they're going to break down, I think, 2 or 3 episodes at a time. And we have a nice, fun panel of people that either liked it, kind of liked it, or straight out despised it. And it'll be fun to watch all these people interact with each other about whether the show was good or not. So you guys need to come back for that and stay tuned to the channel for the announcements. In fact, if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you know when any of our casts are going live. We do these on a regular basis. The purpose of doing them live is so that we can have you in the chat room there to talk with us, to get your opinions, your thoughts about what's going on and stuff.
Yep.
We're here to talk about it, but you're the ones that really make it better and
Right.
make it funner. Econ, what have you been geeking out on?
Work. Work. I did binge through the Defenders, of course, so I did get through the entire Defenders. I've also been on this journey to get through all of the Song of Ice and Fire books for Game of Thrones books.
Ooh, yep.
Got through book 4. I'm on chapter 15 of Dance with Dragons. So,
and you were flying
15 out of 73. Yeah,
you were flying through them. Looks like you kind of slowed down a little bit.
Well, work is kind of taken over. So
That makes sense.
I get at least an hour a day though. So we'll see.
Nice.
46 days left. Well, no, hold on. What? Yeah, like 44 days left if I might stay on that pace. So they're long.
Yeah, Marley Boss says it hasn't been a very nerdy week for her. But it's nice to hear that everyone else has been able to nerd out on stuff. So we get our ebbs and flows. So I haven't really been nerding out on anything myself. And Jack, been doing anything exciting, geeking out about?
Well, as always, I'm editing all of your guys' stuff, fixing website, and putting up podcasts and all that stuff. But I did get a chance to restart Larry Correa's first book for the Monster Hunter International series.
Nice.
Back into that.
Nice.
And of course, the one thing I've been waiting months for, XCOM 2, War of the Chosen. Yeah, it dropped on Monday. I've been playing that and streaming that a bit.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you were talking about, you forgot how fun XCOM was.
Oh my God, they did such an amazing job reworking this game. The flaws that were there before with the long load times on missions and how stuff kind of got clunky, they filled all that out. It's smooth like silk.
Nice. Nice.
I think I'm going to go ahead and do a stream, though, and get as many people to jump on. No,
Let's not stream doo-doo.
No,
Yeah, we don't. That's not a live stream that anybody wants to come in and chat about.
no. You can create your own soldiers. So
I
I
don't
think
know.
I think I need to do
Let's not go there, Beacon.
Okay. We're going to do the Malice kit.
Continue, Jack. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Jack.
So sorry.
Man.
That was rude.
And you guys all wonder why I'm not on the camera very often. Anyways, so no, you can create your own soldiers and customize them and make them look however you want to look. So I think we need to do the MaliceCast XCOM 2 team.
Make every character look like one of the people from the cast.
Yeah, well, you could change their name, write their backgrounds up,
nice.
and put them in what kind of equipment. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what we all put together for Mest and for Beacon.
And welcome Nancy to the chat room. And she's been watching Daredevil for the first time.
First season
Yeah,
was
she
good.
says
Second
that
one,
Wilson Fisk reminds her too much of Malcolm Merlin, which I will agree. Like the type of characters that they are, there's a lot of similarities between those two characters. But Daredevil is so good. The character casting and the cinematography in the first season of Daredevil is amazing.
The fights alone.
the choreography is fantastic.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is episode 8, when he slams the dude's head in the car door and you're looking from underneath the car door.
That was awesome.
Fabulous scene.
That was
Fabulous.
that was one of the best scenes of the whole series.
Yeah. Yes. Daredevil is super good.
So awesome, and welcome in. So let's talk about some of the nerd news. Moving on to the next segment. So like I said, it's going to be mainly DC movie and television themed. Biggest thing right now, we talked about last week that DC is putting together a whole offshoot of films that are going to take place away from the standard DCEU universe that they're working on right now. And the first of those films that they had in process was a Joker Origins film that was going to tell his origin story in a different way and stuff. Well, it just came out that the person that they are looking for to play the Joker is Leonardo DiCaprio, which makes sense to why they are. Well, they went after Scorsese to produce it. So
he's not my favorite, but he has done some really good things.
Could he do
And
it?
he's a
I
hell of
think
an actor. I
absolutely.
mean, I'll give it to him. He's a hell of an actor. So it
Ever
wouldn't
since
surprise
Heath
me
Ledger
if he
got
does
cast
good.
as the Joker, ever since Heath Ledger got cast as Joker and did such a great
Yes.
job, everybody goes to the, well, he's such a great actor. Who knows, it could work out. No, I don't want a name as the Joker. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't even know that we need an origin story. I like the fact that he doesn't have an origin story.
Well,
But we don't have a Red
He-
Witch to bring Heath back from the dead, unfortunately. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
I don't
if
want to
we're
name.
gonna-
I don't. If I'm seeing a Joker origin story, I don't want to know who
Is
that
it-
guy is.
hold on. Is it weird though that we could have Ben Affleck as
Batman,
Batman and then with
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio? I mean,
as
that
the
would be a
Joker?
little.
So
that
here's
would
the
be
here's the thing.
weird.
So that'll tie into the next nerd story.
Can we
I
get
want-
Matt Damon as the Joker?
Well, this is where I think
Yeah.
Leonardo would be
Maybe
good
he'd be the Boy Wonder.
if it turns out to be like I said it was
That's
gonna be.
Jason Lee.
If it turns out to be like I was thinking it was going to be that I mentioned in the article a couple weeks ago, if it's a straight guy coming up in the crime world, taking over the crime world and everything like that, and then he becomes the Joker at the end of the film, and Scorsese's producing it, I think Leonardo's great for that. But if it's like
So The Departed, but with scars at the end.
exactly, basically, which I could see him being good for that. But if it's that comic book style world, I don't know. I don't know, but that's what it plays into, is because once again, the news has come back out that okay.
There you go. Do you want to repeat that?
Yeah, we lost
Are we
you.
back?
You froze.
So, like I was gonna say, once again, it comes back out that won't he Ben Affleck story is going on still with the Batman. Now Hollywood Reporter in their article talking about DiCaprio becoming the up for the lead to play the Joker in this origin film, put a line in there that apparently Ben Affleck won't be in the Batman. And now there's word that the Batman movie won't be in the DCEU. It'll be another one of these Elseworld films, which makes sense to why they were saying that they want to do these type of films where they can cast different people in these roles. So it's becoming this big mess.
It sounds like a nightmare.
It
Yeah,
sounds like they
so-
need a Kevin Feige type. They need somebody controlling the overall. Like, they need to get their stuff together. Marvel has their stuff together. They've got a coordinated plan. DC, they need a coordinated plan.
That's a good point.
And I like Stoneheng's response to the DiCaprio Joker. My heart will go on to a movie with no Joker origin.
That's not. I mean, that's not going to be dependent on DiCaprio. That's anybody in the role. He just doesn't want an origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Marley Boss says, and DiCaprio won't get an Oscar for it.
no,
No.
He's already got one though. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's happy.
Yeah.
I'll never let go, Harley. I'll never let go.
Oh, jeez.
Are you kidding me? He would be the one pushing her off the thing and saying bye.
Well,
Like-
let's talk about the last bit of little DC news. So the TV show Titans that's been in the work for Teen Titans, or not teens, but just the Titans. They finally announced their casting of Dick Grayson. And Titans is not going to be on any standard network. It's going to be on DC. Is actually making a streaming service strictly for them. That like everybody else out there, let's have a streaming service so we can charge people more money to come and watch our shows and our content.
Screw that.
So the actor that is going to be playing Dick Grayson is most known for the most recent Pirates of the Caribbean, where he was playing the son of I can't remember their names now, but it's Brenton Thwaites. He was the son of the main love interest from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, the kid that played Will Turner's kid? That guy?
So he is playing Dick Grayson.
Oh.
And they said that it is going to be following the same type of storyline that Robin went through. They're not recreating anything. He did get taken in by Ben Affleck. He did get taken in by Bruce Wayne.
Batfleck. Yeah.
He did get taken in by Bruce Wayne, and he went off on his own to do his own superheroing. So, but this is the first time we got a big casting for the TV series.
That would probably mean more to me if I'd actually seen the fifth Pirates of the Caribbean with the guy in it.
I stopped after the first one, so
I didn't know anybody actually went to see that movie.
Yeah, don't watch 2 and 3. You'll be happier for it. But the fourth one was actually pretty entertaining, very reminiscent of the first movie. So.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got some good names attached that are creating Titans. Greg Berlanti, Akiva Goldsman are both very, very good names in the TV industry. Jeff Johns is fantastic. He has basically created the DC universe for the last decade or so.
So comics. He's the one to blame? Oh, in comics, sorry.
In comics, yeah. But
maybe
yeah, we already
roll the films then.
We already had Starfire being cast from Anna Diop, and Raven is being played by Tegan Croft. So,
okay.
It's interesting. I'm always fearful when these new streaming services come along and hold the shows to themselves. It's like, if it wasn't good enough to get it onto a network, and this is your first foray into streaming, is how good is it going to be? Like,
yeah, it's a business model that everybody's following now, though. I mean, it's clearly failing with some of them. I think like CISO, the comedy one, is falling apart. That's about to go under. And if you're going to have a dedicated streaming service just for one world of properties, you better come out of the gate strong.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Hulu. Hulu already had streaming down, and then they started doing their own stuff, and their own stuff really wasn't that great when it first.
No.
Some of it was okay, but it was like slightly above medium good, which wasn't enough.
I don't pay for it anymore.
Everybody's trying to copy Netflix, but Netflix went all out when they started doing their stuff. I mean, they went out and got some big names and didn't pull any punches.
Think about who Netflix took down. I mean, when you just think about their win-loss record, Blockbuster Video, Hollywood Video, all of those places died
because of Netflix.
Because of Netflix. I mean, it started with Netflix.
I worked,
but Netflix started that.
At work about a year ago, I ran into somebody that used to work for HBO. I said something about how we had recently hosted a party for some Netflix executives, and she goes, "Oh, you know what we called them when we worked at HBO? The Red Menace."
Makes sense. Really does.
Not the Red Box wasn't the Red Menace, huh?
Yeah. But
Netflix's
production quality is outstanding as well. I mean, you see that with the whole Marvel bromance that they have going on, and every one of their own shows that they do are fantastic.
Well, I mean, look at the first show they ever put together. They go out and get
except for Iron Fist.
Yeah, that's casting.
We'll get into that later, Tim.
That's the issue. But anyway, yeah, we all agree on that.
I met a bunch of the. For one my work hosted a party for a bunch of the Netflix creative execs, and honestly, I get why all their stuff succeeds. Those are fun people. Mm-hmm. They have a great time together. They were all smart as hell. I really enjoyed hanging out with them, and I was like, okay, I get why the stuff you're doing is working now.
Yeah, same type of thing as basically what Pixar is. Pixar is fun people that just have really good ideas and stretch out on that. But yeah, that was. I mean, the nerd news was a little light this week, so that was pretty much
it was.
What was on.
I didn't hear really anything exciting.
There was a couple other things, but I don't want to get too angered over them. We had the female Lord of the Flies all female film and
there's we got Beth in the chat channel. She wants to know where Epic Beard has been. We're missing our Epic Beard.
It's called Labor Day Weekend is a kick in the pants when you're in sales. So
any sales, but especially to
his sales, what he does.
His sales and what he does, and it's just insanity.
And welcome back to the chat, by the way. So, so let's get into the nerd fight. The last 2 weeks nerd fight was best Miyazaki Studio Ghibli film. It was pretty neck and neck for a while, and then one of us unfortunately gave up and stopped trying to get votes, and dropped to second place. But we had Castle Cagliostro, Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, Ponyo, Kiki's Delivery Service, and My Neighbor Totoro.
Me.
Which these are very sad on the votes when you think about how fantastic these movies are. My Neighbor Totoro got 1 vote. It is a fantastic animated film. So I think it's just the exposure wasn't out there. The heat and the weather and stuff has been affecting things. So Kiki's Delivery Service had 2 votes. Ponyo had 2. Castle Cagliostro had 4. Howl's Moving Castle had 11. Came back quite a bit. Princess Mononoke came out with 26, and Spirited Away, Super Hoovian Freaks pick came with 38 votes. So, did you guys get a chance, people that hadn't seen any of these films, to try and go and watch any of them on streaming or anything?
I'm fairly certain Beth was telling me that she watched Kiki's Delivery Service, but I don't know if she liked it or not. So she'll have to let me know if she liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad. Kind of glad I wasn't here last week because I'm like Jon Snow on this one, dude. I know nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, no, you really should check them out. I mean, they are.
If you want to talk Akira and Ghost in the Shell, Cowboy Bebop, Robotech, I'm with you. Other than that,
I just don't have the motivation.
Lost.
They're only movie length. They're only an hour and a half long. So
I probably should, but
they're really, really good. So
I
liked Kiki's.
100% believe you.
You liked it?
She liked it.
Yeah.
She liked it. Beth liked it.
And Nancy has seen all of them, and she voted for Princess Mononoke. Thank you, Nancy.
Nice.
So the more aggressive version of Ferngully as
the aggressive Ferngully, yes.
as Rugen calls it.
It was the super aggressive, extra bloody, no Robin Williams humor Ferngully.
So, but yeah, that's where we ended it. We're going to start our next 2 weeks of Nerd Fight Poll, and it's going to be leading into our main subject, which is the Game of Thrones fan theories, and that's going to be the best Game of Thrones character in the television
Any
series.
character from
the television series.
From the television. Oh, because that really narrows the characters down.
Oh, you take Lady Stoneheart out, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
you still for Catelyn if you want. I mean,
yeah. But it's a free for all, people. We're gonna take 2 guesses or two from the chat room. So if people want to start getting in on that, but Super Hoovian, you won, so you get first pick.
My favorite character from the show and the books is Arya Stark. Absolutely, Arya Stark.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
It's a tie. I mean, it's a real close race between her and Tyrion. But at the end of the day, I have to go with the faceless assassin. Arya Underfoot. You know, she's been proving people wrong and doing her own thing since book 1. So
yep.
She's my girl.
At this point, 95.
Since 1995. She's more Arya Underskin.
Underskin. Yep. Ooh.
Arya Underskin. Ooh, that's creepy.
I like that. I like that a lot.
If you guys are enjoying the videos, make sure that you hit that like button for us as well.
Beth said that her favorite Game of Thrones character is the guy that was drinking in the pub wearing brown and getting drunk.
Yeah, he's not going in the poll.
Half of Westeros. Yeah.
I mean, that really could just be Tyrion right there, you know.
Or Bran.
Or Bran.
Half of Westeros, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we have
the other half is dead, but you know, that's a whole other story.
But speaking of Tyrion, you're gonna have my pick, since I was second place, is Tyrion, because that's what he does. He drinks and he knows things. Just the fantastic character that is Tyrion, in my opinion. The lightheartedness he has while brooding, and the mind on him is amazing. And then just the depiction that's brought to screen by
Peter Dinklage. Yeah, he is amazing. As amazing as he is, after kind of getting through the books, he is so good, but he doesn't. I think the writers of the HBO show don't do justice to just how good.
There's actually an
of a
article.
character Tyrion is. He's
There's
such
actually-
an amazing character.
There's actually an article out. I didn't read it. I saw it today and I didn't read it, but it's "Why Do the Showrunners Hate Tyrion?" was the title of the article.
He's treated that way in the
well, I
books too,
think-
but yeah.
He is treated, I mean, pretty much badly by everyone. He's got the stigma attached to him, obviously being the dwarf, but Peter Dinklage just owns the role.
Yeah.
There is no one I could see.
I think he's so much more justified in the books, and I think that's the difference. Is what he does has so much more justification in the explanations given in the books than what we see on the screen.
Well, yeah.
I think probably the title of that article Mest is talking about is not why do the writers hate him like the character's treated badly? Why are they not giving justification to to his motivations? Why are they not showing as devious as he can be? Because in the books, you're right, he's even more complex and layered.
I'm sure once we go into the article,
Maybe.
that'll be the case of it. But that was what the title was, and that alone was just funny. So
that makes sense.
And I guess people are very mad that I didn't pick Daeny in the. In the
Don't worry, it's coming up.
So,
someone will get her.
Yeah. Well, the beard's not here. And yeah, none of the other picks are here. So
I passed mine on to Saphira Rose last time. So.
Well, I think, I mean, the chat room possibly, and then.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, you guys will definitely get to
they've got the next pick off this.
Yeah, let the chat room have one.
Definitely, I think the chat room is hollering for Daenerys.
Yep,
that's what it looks like.
Stormborn, Mother Dragons, Breaker Chains.
Dragon, Breaker Chains.
Khaleesi of the Grass Sea. Yeah. Sorry, Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea. Sorry about that.
There you go. Yeah.
Let me get that right.
So we'll give the chat room their first pick, which will be Daeny. Since we have a voice sitting there that just never gets to get in on the Game of Thrones chat, and we always want to hear from him. Let's get Jack's favorite Game of Thrones character for the nerd fight, unless somebody already said it. Then he'll be like, "I'm out of this one."
It's either going to be I'd have to go with Jon Snow or Tormund, but Jon Snow is too easy, so I'll go with Tormund.
I love Tormund.
Yeah.
I do love Tormund. I like him better in the show than in the books.
Absolutely.
There's not a
that actor.
I mean,
and we'll debunk.
But
Tormund in the show is sort of a conglomeration of other characters from the books.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And right now we'll debunk our first fan theory out there if Tormund died in the wall.
No,
and
there's no way.
One is no way because he hasn't shaved and still got the full beard and doing tweets and stuff. So,
Christopher Hiv Jew.
So that's the clear indication that he's alive.
Absolutely. So. I guess that leaves me, and since Beacon,
well, it's you and Beacon, so I don't know how you.
Go for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that Beacon ran through the list of Daenerys' titles. What Jack should have said was. Actually, he didn't pick him, so I got to pick Jon Snow, and all I have to say about him is he's king in the North.
Okay,
you're supposed to do it like that. He's king in the North,
which is my second favorite character.
No,
I love
Jon is supposedly for me he's sort of the character that I most identify with anyway. Maybe close second to Dinklage or to Tyrion. He's he feels like he's never quite fit anywhere. He feels like he's always had to fight for anything that he gets, and then he gets that that orphan or in this case bastard dream. He's gonna find out that he was the rightful heir all along, and he's really fought for it this whole time.
And welcome Big Papa Matt to the chat room as he's talking about Jack's couch. So.
What's wrong with my couch?
Go back and look at the chat. You'll see what Big Papa Matt had to say about it. So, Beacon, it's your picks.
I'm going through the chat room. I'm trying to see what the chat room has to say. because I want to be respectful to the chat room because I've got a couple that I could choose.
Well, so far, all we've gotten from Daeny, I haven't seen them say anything else. So if you guys have any other
I've
characters,
seen Samwell. I've seen
I did see Samuel once on there. Yeah.
Samuel Tarley. I've seen in there. I'm just trying to.
I'm gonna throw out from the chat room. Stonehenge says to Jack that needs to be a new episode title. That Jon Snow is too easy. Quotes.
Yeah.
He's only ever been with two girls in his entire life.
Oh,
I mean, granted, one of them is his aunt.
We got Matt's pick. You know what his pick's going to be, and he just threw it out.
Bran.
Brian, if you're going with the book.
That's a good pick. She's in my top 5 for sure. Definitely in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah. So we'll throw Brienne for Big Papa Matt, but we need your pick, Beacon.
All right. Well, we're talking about the show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
if we're talking about the show, then I'm going to go with the Hound.
Okay.
Sandor Clegane, all day, every day. Ride and die.
Master of one-liners. Things
Mhm.
that we can't say on this particular version of the podcast.
Yeah. Starts at the C. Into the
Wind-
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
engine.
I would have said Hodor. Hodor is definitely one of my favorite. You know what? Man, see, I'm so torn. I love Hodor so much because I think of all the characters, he's given the most to the cause when you really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
He's given the majority of his life to the cause.
Not necessarily
necessarily
because he wanted to
intentionally.
at first.
Yeah, I know. I'm torn here. Nothing's
No.
right. I'm torn.
You have to go with the first pick, and you're taking the Hound.
All right, I'm gonna go. Yeah. We're going.
Really? Natalie Imbruglia. Really? That's where you're going?
So our choices for the next 2
Don't
weeks.
speak. Don't speak.
Our choices for the next 2 weeks Nerd Fight
No
that
doubt.
will start on Sunday for best Game of Thrones character. You have Arya from Super Hoovy and Freak, Tyrion from myself, Daenerys from the chat room, Tormund from Jack Malice, Jon Snow from Icy Zorro, Brian
Brian.
But from the Big Papa Matt.
and the Hound from Beacon. I think a really good list.
Are we gonna throw out one more from the chat room? Because we got
Well, yeah.
If they gave us one more, we can throw in.
we gotta vote for Grey Worm because Grey Worm is the best rapper and he sucks at Mario Kart.
There we go. We'll go Grey Worm then. So 2 from the chat. There we go. Okay, so let's get into our main subject. We got 30 minutes on this, and I think this one's going to go pretty deep. And you guys, let me know your thoughts in the chat room about these theories and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about the Game of Thrones top theories. If you guys have not been able to get deeper into Game of Thrones and listen to the Audible books on it or read the books and stuff, make sure that you go to Amazon to go ahead and pick up some of those books or listen to the Audible account. You can actually sign up for an Audible account and get a month free or get
2 books free to start.
And you can go through the link to our website to do that as well. Malice-corp.com. We have a website. There is content that goes on it, and there will be more going on it, but we also have the podcast here. And you guys can listen to these podcasts on audio as well, both on Stitcher, on iTunes, and on podcast.com. So main subject is Game of Thrones Mythbuster style. We're going to talk about the main fan theories that are out there. I'm going to bring up the first one that you know is going to come out because it's the one that everybody's been talking about for like 3 weeks. Bran, Stark, and the Night King are the same. Thoughts?
I'm like,
No.
I can see why people think it, but I really don't want it to be true. I don't want it to be true.
Can you give some form of evidence other than that they have similar abilities in the fact that they're both wield some form of magic, that they're the same thing? Because that's the only piece of, oh, they both have magic and they can control things, but one controls life stuff and one controls dead stuff. So we might as well just say that the sorcerers and the red.
The people got on it too because they were saying that Isaac Hempstead Wright, who plays Bran, kind of looks like the guy that plays Night King. And even that kid was like, yeah, I don't think I look that much like him. It's entirely conjecture. There is no basis for this. The theory is that he wargs back in time with his green sight, happens to get stuck in that dude's body right as he's getting turned into the Night King by the Children of the Forest. There's no proof for that. There's no background for it. It's crap.
Well, he did come out and say that he doesn't think it's the truth that it's a good theory, but he also said that he would have thought that Hodor, what happened with Hodor, was a bad theory until he saw it as well. So, go ahead.
I think if you want to say that they are two sides of the same coin, I can go with that. I can go with that the Three-Eyed Raven and the Night King are kind of two sides of the same coin. Are they the same person, though? Absolutely not. I mean, look, one was born from Ned and Catelyn Stark. The other one has been around for a freaking long-ass time.
8,000 years.
8,000 years. Thank you, Icy. And this warging into the past, I don't know, man. It's just too out there. I mean, Game of Thrones can get out there at times, but that's just too out there.
I've seen people photoshopping together supposed evidence as well. Somebody photoshopped a picture of the two next to each other, and they were wearing the same like decorative brooch.
That's okay. So that was one of them. Yes. So the exact
Photoshop.
No Photoshop. There's one.
Really?
There's the outfit that the Night King wears. Look at his outfit and look at the outfit that Bran is wearing when he is walking in his vision. It looks almost exactly alike.
I'm talking about specifically the one that showed a little decorative piece holding their shirts together. That's not actually on Bran's costume.
Yeah, not that one, but the one. Yeah, the one. I know
its style is very similar. Yes.
Yes. So that was one of the things that they brought up. The theory is that Bran has tried to stop the war 3 times. The first time was he went back and he told Targaryen to burn them with dragon fire. And he heard the voice from Bran and went insane and instead burned his people because he was hearing voices telling him to burn them. That was his first attempt. His second attempt was going back into Bran the Builder's body, warging and creating the wall, which hasn't worked. The third attempt was going back and warging into the Night King himself before the Children of the Forest killed him to try and stop everything. And the Children of the Forest kill him, ended up making him the Night King, and he's warged in him while that's happening. And so now he's trapped in his body.
Where's the evidence for any of this?
So that's what the theory is. I'm just saying that's what the theory is. So that's where it came from. The evidence for the voice is when Bran goes back to the tower and says something, Ned turns because he hears him, even though he's just there.
No,
I'm saying that in the episode.
We know he can do that. Where's the evidence that he has done that in those 3 specific instances? There isn't any.
No, that's why it's a theory. But that's why we're trying to find out if it's a legit theory or if it's not.
Honestly, I think the Night King's a Targaryen. That's my thought.
If he's from 8,000 years ago, that's a good 6,000 years before the Targaryen. Actually, more than that, like 7,500 years before the Targaryens came over from Essos.
The only evidence I have is that he rides a dragon. So I mean, that's more evidence though than the Bran theory. So
that's true.
No, I personally don't think it's anyone. I think it's just. I mean, like you have the children of the what are they called? The Children of the Forest.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that just spawned. So I don't think it was anyone. I don't think it's anything. I think it was just maybe something magic created. Maybe, I don't know, maybe to be a balance in the world. Maybe it had a purpose we just don't know about yet,
Yeah, I like what Beacon was saying about opposite sides of the same coin. Like maybe once the Night King was created, the office of the Three-Eyed Raven was created as well to balance it out. Yeah, but definitely not the same person.
So, what the more possible thing is that the Night King is of lineage of the Starks. Is what they're saying. That there's more theories out there, mainly because they said you're reading the books. I don't know which book they mentioned this in, but they talk about the Night King and the Night Kings who runs the wall, and
they do. It's in 5, and I haven't gotten there yet.
Well, this is what it's suggested is the subtle difference between the Night King and the Night's King. The names are close enough that there's likely some binding tie between the two. That binding tie could be their true identity. Old Nan posits that the Night King was a Stark, and it's even suggested that the Stark's first name was Brandon.
Like Bran. Well, I know
Yeah.
people have said
Brandon
that it could be Brandon the Builder, which,
Yeah.
That's what
the theory
that's throwing more into this. Is that
that part of it comes from the books, but that's where the wall is already built, and it was a former commander of the Night's Watch. So if then the wall wouldn't have been built to stop that particular guy, it would have been built to stop previous White Walkers. But that's book rather than TV.
right.
the other thing that leads credence to this that they're going off of is on, I think it's last season's special features. There's a special feature about Brandon the Builder, and it shows Brandon the Builder being hoisted on a sled by people like he's crippled or something like that, and the entire story is told by Winstead, right, who plays Bran, and so that's what's leading more people into it, is that like why are they having him do this special feature and talk about this, and so there's little things that can cause it, but we say it's busted. Say it's not a thing. It's not going to happen. Bran's not the Night King.
I wouldn't bet on it.
No. But just to confirm Nancy's question, the Children of the Forest, whites, not whites. I say they're not whites. They're magical.
Children of the Forest are previous race.
They are magical.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
first people.
If Children of the Forest were killed by zombies, would they become zombies?
Well,
Yes.
I would say
we'll see if we see them marching in the army of the dead next season, because a lot of them did get killed.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll have to see on that one.
Anyway.
And then Beth would like to know, how are the writers basically going to write up the tension for the last season? What's gonna? So I guess we'll cover that here in the theories upcoming.
This whole battle's got to play out, and then someone's got to assume the throne after it's all said and done.
So it's basically we're going to figure out. We're basically going to get the next season. We're going to figure out what the whites really want, because right now we have no idea what they really want. And
I wish they would tell us what they want, what they really want.
How it's going to go down, who's going to defeat them, and then who's left standing at the end, basically.
There, I just said it. So, Night King on the Iron Throne for the win.
I was going to say, if anybody defeats them, yeah.
So.
Okay, so another crazy out there theory that came out, because people are clamoring for Lady Stoneheart so badly, and they said that she would not be in there.
Spinoff.
A new theory, taking the Valancourt theory one step further. Fans think Arya will use her skills as no one to travel to King's Landing, kill Jaime Lannister. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. I think that Arya, there it is. Arya will become Lady Stoneheart in terms of taking on that character.
Yeah. Okay. Meshing the role of the character from the books
together.
The character of Arya. No, I could buy that. I mean, she's already started doing that. When you think about killing all the Freys.
It's a reach. She'd have to be undead. To be Lady.
No, in the same way that Tormund takes on is a kind of conglomeration of multiple characters. I think this theory is saying that Arya now is kind of the conglomeration of Arya as well as Stoneheart. If that's the theory,
to me, that's still just Arya. To me, Arya's already a vengeance machine.
So that's true.
The character of Lady Stoneheart was passing judgment on anyone that broke an oath. It wasn't
mainly Freys and Lannisters.
Well, Freys and Lannisters, but she would take anyone that she found walking down the street, literally. I mean, they were hanging towns,
she was leading the Brotherhood with banners.
I mean, she was ready to hang Brienne. She was completely ready to hang Brienne in a Feast for Crows in the book, and Brienne is not evil. But because she took that sword from Jaime Lannister, she sees that in her demented mind as, you broke the oath to protect my daughters. You've now sided with the Lannisters. You're going to die. That's not Arya. Arya is specifically targeting the people that wronged her family and her family alone.
Good point.
And her, I mean, obviously in herself as well. But she is not just passing judgment on any, Tom, Dick, and Sandy walking down the road.
Yeah. Although she kills Podrick, and she only kills Podrick because his last name is Payne, from what it seems like. Well, and he's got ties to Lannister. So I mean, I would argue that I think anybody that's tied to a Lannister or a Frey, she's on the hunt for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because Brienne
I don't-
has the sword, she thinks that she's got ties to Lannisters. I don't think it's necessarily an oath thing to me, but that's just my interpretation.
I don't
And-
think Lady Stoneheart is even worth talking about at this point. She's not part of the show.
Yeah, the only way that they said it could go about is that if people are getting killed the way that they get killed, that somebody could say it's the ghost of Caitlyn, start killing people, and it's actually her, and that's where they
could still do a spinoff.
So
if you want to interpret it that way, feel free.
yeah, I'm just these are just the top theories that are out there right now. So we say busted on that one. So it sounds like so. Here's the other big one, and I really want to get your guys' opinion on this.
Sure.
Jon is going to betray Daeny to be the prince that was promised.
Who, Jon?
Because the story of it is that Aziz, however you pronounce the name,
Azor Ahai.
Azor Ahai killed his wife to create the Lightbringer to be able to stop everything, and now to defeat the darkness. And now they're saying that Jon.
There are specific circumstances that are required for the creation of Lightbringer, and it's really a question of who fits even the possibility of being the prince or princess, or who has the possibility of creating that sword. A lot of theories that I've heard is that it's going to be Jon because he's got Longclaw, a Valyrian steel sword, which at some point he's royal blood. He technically, being born of the Targaryens and raised in the north, is ice and fire. But the whole thing of the prince is supposed to be born between salt and ashes. That would fit Daeny better, but she doesn't use a sword. I don't know. There's room for interpretation there.
Well, it says that Azor Ahai was a legendary hero forced to sacrifice his wife Nissa by plunging a sword through her heart to unleash its true power to create the Lightbringer. The legend goes on to say that the prince who was promised will one day pull Lightbringer from the fire once more to complete another hero's journey, and that's where they're going. Is Daeny's known as the fire because the Targaryen, and if he has to sacrifice her to.
Well, to me, that sounds like the sword is already created and somebody has to recover it rather than creating it again.
Well, the other theory to that is that the sword is actually the sword that Jaime currently has from Ned.
But that's half of the Valyrian steel that used to be in ice.
Yes.
The other theory is that it's the dagger. So
yeah,
there's a theory out there that it's the dagger that Arya has that I guess now she gave to Sansa, but either way, it's
no, she
Baelish's old
took
dagger.
it.
No, she took it back.
She did take it back because it's what she killed Littlefinger with.
Right.
His own dagger.
That's the other theory, is that it's the dagger.
Is it even actually confirmed anywhere in the thing about Lightbringer that it has to be Valyrian steel?
No.
Okay, then it could be any sword.
It could be any sword. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's what the theory is that he is going to have to end up killing Daeny in order to create this and actually become.
I mean, if they do that,
I think
that's a complete change from who the character of Jon is. I mean, that's not who Jon Snow is. I mean, I don't know. That would be disappointing if that's the way they go. Just because that would be completely against everything that character has been built up to be, in my opinion.
So you go with the other theory that they're both going to be pregnant. And
no, I mean, there's more than one theory. I
know.
I don't see why, if the theory is that it's the prince, or that word can be interpreted prince or princess. I don't know why it can't be both of them. I don't even know why it can't be plural. In my opinion. I mean,
so maybe the prince that was promised would be Daeny having a baby, and that would be the prince.
Could be,
that
or
would be
it's
kind of
both
awesome.
Daeny
Maybe
and Jon.
That would be kind of creepy, but they could have a baby, and maybe that would be the gender to be specified.
The stallion that
to be
rides
promised. Well, he wouldn't be a stallion.
I know.
I mean,
it's a throwback to Drogo.
Well, she said, "When will Drogo return to me?" And
Yeah,
They
but she
gave
was
him
a
all-
Maggie. So
I know, but they gave him all these impossible things. Who's to say that?
And
It would
yeah,
be very,
and a-
very weird. But who's to say if they had a baby, she didn't name him Drogo?
yeah.
Well, and as John pointed out in the second to last episode, are you sure she was a reliable source of information?
Right.
And that's why they're bringing up the
She
baby
did-
thing,
she
is
did
because
just
it's
tell
being
your
thrown in
husband.
people's faces so much. So that's the other
Yeah.
theory. The theory is either that
Well-
that they either turn on each other, John, or not turn on each other, but John has to betray her to
Save the
achieve
world.
his goal and save the world,
Yeah.
or they work together.
I'm hoping they
Yeah.
work together
I
because
just
I
can't
think
see
that would
them
just be
doing
the
it.
crappiest. I would really, really hate that storyline. If
I
that's
mean, the
how they
show's
played
supposed
it.
to have a bittersweet ending, right?
Yeah.
I said,
But I think John's been such a character he's to not be Ned's son. He is so much like Ned in his sense of honor and oath keeping and just everything that he's built up to be. So to turn around on that to me would just be, I mean, I don't know, man. I think I don't know that they could get away with that and it be believable. If that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
these, like I said, they're just so. So you guys say no?
Yeah,
Can't
so no.
happen. Not plausible.
No.
Okay. The next major last one that we're going to talk about tonight is we've talked about this one quite a bit, but it's just that Jaime will kill Cersei.
Who's going to kill Cersei?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Mm,
I'm all in on that one.
I still say it's gonna. Yeah, it's either gonna be Jaime or it's gonna be Arya wearing the face of Jaime.
Ooh.
Which goes with that as well.
Because
You got him on that one.
I have a question. To take the face, does Arya have to be the one who kills him,
No,
or can
No.
she just take any dead person's face?
Any dead
So
person.
I'm almost
that's
wondering-
the whole point. The whole point of the Hall of Faces is they had a bunch of available faces that you could use.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
A girl can
and
use
so
any
I'm-
face she wants.
I'm wondering if she's just gonna see him maybe die. Maybe he dies just in the battlefield, and she takes that opportunity, takes his face, and then uses it to go back, and so nobody would even know he's dead.
I
It's
honestly, I don't
possible.
really like the idea of Jaime dying at this point. I think that he's one of the few redemptive arcs in the show.
Mhm.
He started
Mhm.
out as a sister-loving, child attempted murdering guy, and now it's like, oh, Jaime, good for you, man. Disagree with her. Walk away from that evil. Yeah. Like
What the hell would say?
the character arc has been fantastic. So I don't know. I like that it's got to be between. I like the idea of Arya doing it as Jaime, but I think it's got to be either Jaime or Tyrion, and they both are going to have seriously legitimate reasons to do it. But just the nothing that came out of that prophecy from when she was a child has been wrong. She had 3 kids; they all died. The number of kids that she and the king had, and then the last part of this was she was going to be killed by the little brother, and that could be either one of them.
And Nancy
The
says,
Valancourt.
Nancy says in the chat room that no way John will turn coat.
Thank you,
Also
Nancy.
that the bitter ending will be Arya will die trying to kill the Lannisters for her. So
Jack throwing out.
Jack can chime in. I'd love to hear him talk because he says Jaime's not even close to being a redemption story. So
I think I've got the one with the biggest redemption story, in my opinion. I think the Hound has an amazing redemption story.
oh, absolutely. I agree on that one. But that's another major
yeah,
theory that's out
totally.
there too, is that
Can't wait till he kills his brother.
well, the major theory out there is that the biggest redemption story is going to come from Theon Greyjoy because the theory is that he will become the Drowned Gods champion,
Okay.
and that will transform him.
Well, yeah, of course, Theon's an amazing story as well. Theon does not get enough credit for where he has come in this story.
No.
Well, I know for myself, I 100% agree with that theory about Theon. I think he will get this redemption arc.
He will.
What
will.
is dead may never die, and what is a eunuch may never be kicked in the nuts.
Boom.
He
One less vulnerability taken away.
I mean, that was my personal favorite scene of the last episode. Of all the things that happened, was him and Jon finally getting a chance to talk.
But
And it was really well acted. It was well scripted. And
so
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with his character.
yeah. In response to the original theory, though, this theory about Jaime, I still think it's going to be Tyrion. That's what I'm going with. I just want to put my point out there. I think it's Tyrion.
Here's where the theory that that Jaime kills Cersei can be legit, and still go off of the Maggie prophecy. There was a scene that was filmed that was cut from this season, and it was Cersei waking up to a pile of blood as if she had a miscarriage. So
and they cut that? Why'd they cut that?
Seems like important information.
They said they may have changed. They may have changed something. They may have. It may be in the first episode of next season. It might have just been cut and they changed the story. Remember, nothing is George Martin anymore. They said they ran out of everything from him. So
I mean, it could be a scene we see later as well. So
here's a way that Jaime could still end up killing her without actually, killing her. And if she dies in childbirth from Jaime giving her the baby, and she never has the fourth child,
that's too easy.
But it's technically
technically fulfilling the prophecy. But the prophecy also said that she was going to be strangled. So, I mean,
plus that's the kind of subtlety that Martin might use, but Martin's not in charge anymore, and Benioff and Weiss are not that subtle.
Which means that might have been what the concept was, and maybe that's why that scene got cut out, because maybe that's what Martin had in mind. And they're just like, we're on our own now. So,
but,
I don't know if Tyrion kills her. I think that's a little too easy because they've been at loggerheads for so long. Jaime's loved her for so long that I think it would be more satisfying to see him do it.
Big Papa Matt says the scene was to throw off the actors, but
the one about
That's
her
a good point,
with the blood. With the blood?
Yeah.
That's
okay. I thought maybe it might have been
they're just saying it was a cut scene. They're not even saying it was to throw him off. The article said that it was a fully cut scene. So
I was wondering if perhaps it was a nightmare she was having. I mean, I know they don't do that very often. They don't really show dream sequences, but
yeah,
it could have been something,
So basically the main theories that are out there.
I got one more that we didn't really touch on.
What's the last one?
I don't think did Tyrion sacrifice either Daeny or Jon Snow?
Nope.
I think we briefly talked. Yeah.
Did we briefly talk about that
one?
one?
We didn't talk about it on here, but
I know we covered it a little bit. We covered it a little bit last episode, but
the director came out. No, the director came out.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we talk about the Theon thing a little bit though? Because I want to hear what Jack has to say about Theon, because I know he's got some great Theon insights on that.
And the screen just went black.
Just when I ask for him, he disappears.
Well, here's the thing: we're going to be going more a free for all for people that are of age to watch this stuff on Sunday night. It's Game of Thrones. We drink and we know things. So it's if you're somebody that enjoys drinking casts and also is of age to watch stuff with proper language and things like that, come out on Sunday night. Join us to talk about Game of Thrones, and it's a free for all. Throw it out there. Just whatever comes up with Game of Thrones comes up, and have fun with it. I think they're planning on doing anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour minimum on it. So join us for Sunday for that. We will be back here next Friday for another MaliceCast and an update on where we're at on the best Game of Thrones character in the Nerd Fight poll. Make sure that you are checking out the malice-corp.com website. That's where we put all of our articles up and information up. In fact, we had an article come up today from Super Hoovian Freak having to do with a musical artist to check out, as well as a couple days ago, we got an article from Igor about the Destiny 2 release that's coming out next week. So definitely some nerd stuff to check out over there.
More stuff is coming. More stuff is coming.
More stuff is coming. If you're ever interested in writing nerd topic themed things that you just have a passion for to write about, please leave a comment below letting us know if you'd like to come over to the Malice Corp family and write some stuff, or you can even let us know going to Malice Corp and sending us some messages there.
Anything that you nerd out about. Like my first article was about nerding out on wine, so it's pretty open.
Yeah. So we thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry about being a little tired here tonight, but we were.
Yeah, big thanks to Beth, to Marleyba, to Sconehenge. Big thanks to Nancy for all of her great insights as well, and of course the Epic Beer joined us in the chat channel as well. Big Papa Matt, glad to have you all on board tonight.
To everybody that's out there dealing with any type of circumstances, please be safe. That you all are in our prayers, hoping that everything's okay with you guys. But let's sound off on where you can follow everybody. At the website, you can follow on Twitter at Malice Corp. You can follow the cast at MaliceCast, and you can follow me on Twitter at Mest_Malice Corp. Where can we follow you, Beacon?
Yeah, you can follow me at Beacon_Malice Corp.
And Mr. Zorro.
At IC Zorro on Twitter and Instagram.
And Superhuvian?
Follow me on Twitter at SuperHoovianNut. It's always a party. Come join my threads with Malcolm Barrett and Julianne Emery from Preacher. You know, we're always talking crazy stuff, and that's no joke. They hit me up during the week, even when it's not Monday night. Hell, we were talking about Steelers today. And, so it doesn't just relate to Preachers. So come check it out. It's always a good time.
Fun time over there. You can follow our producer, Jack Malice at Jack Malice or Jack_Malice. Jack_Malice on Twitter. In fact, majority of these are in the descriptions below. So go ahead and scroll down there, click on them. It'll make it a lot easier to get to the Twitter page and subscribe to us and follow us. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. This entire time, if you've seen the little logo of Malice Corp, you can click on that. That's a subscribe button. For anybody that's watching this after the live cast, go ahead and click up there. There's going to be a little logo that pops up that will let you subscribe. You can click here if you want to see last week's cast about Kevin Smith. If you want to see anything that's suggested to you, go ahead and click on the video that pops there. Other than that, we do appreciate you guys coming. Go check out the website, malice-corp.com. Come back next week for more stuff. Be here on Sunday for the We Drink and We Know Things, and we will see you guys shortly. Have a wonderful day, and keep nerding on.
Stay nerdy out there.